On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Hate and self-disdain. And I do think that your wife, and I think her family members would be offended by it as well, because I can guarantee they have similar experiences to mine. Without even speaking to someone, just based off of how you look, without even interacting with them. So I just think it's really, really sad how we are on a platform of Black people and we're talking about what's going on in our community. And we have people that are perpetuating racism and colorism. I think it's very sad and unfortunate. But I hope it's a learning experience, because I don't know what else it can possibly be. There's nothing on the planet that will make any of that okay ever. And it also shows the lack of experience. When you talk about per your experience, I mean, it must be very small. It's not vast at all. Clearly, you don't know a whole lot of people, or a whole lot of people of a lot of races, because I live in South Florida where there are a lot of ratchet white people.
For his argument. But as far as like the personal singling people out, I think that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah. So yeah. I agree.
That's the whole thing. I would just say this. That's the whole thing I wanted to bring to light, that, you know what I'm saying, his argument was strong. You know what I'm saying? But when it get pushed around, well, I'm gonna say this though. So what do you say to the dark skinned chick that says she don't like fat guys?
Sorry, I don't like.
We're not going there.
No.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Listen what I'm saying. It's easy. You see, you can't do that. You got to be balanced across the board. Like I can look at things across the board, right? And I can just look at everything and say, you know what? You got to respect that people have preference. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of how it makes you feel, it would never change that.
But this is not about preference.
Right. If I could finish saying what I was saying.
You can control being fat. You can't control the color.
Hold on, y'all. Like I think Kay was trying to say something. I think Kay was trying to say something.
I didn't finish my comment.
Okay, we can only talk at one time. So go ahead, Kay, then Courtney, and then we'll finish off with Kayla.
We're talking.
We've been talking.
Courtney, go first. I'll go after you.
Okay, I didn't know if you wanted to say something. So that's why.
I mean, I definitely do. But Courtney, go ahead.
Yeah, and I'm saying, Jack, it's not about caping. No one's caping for anything. But colorism is a real thing. And what Chaotic was saying, that he doesn't know why. So I'm not trying to save anyone. It's the essence of trying to understand the whys. There is a preference, and you can prefer anything. But your preference shouldn't have to mean you demean or degrade someone else because you don't prefer them.
Courtney, can I say something to you real quick?
No, because I'm coming next. So, the whole the darker skinned woman, Chaotic. In all honesty, I just think that you're trying to create some content for your channel. That's what I think it's all about. I guarantee. Let's see if you're doing. But anyway, to deny that colorism exists is just ignorant at best. I mean, there are studies, there's the Dalton, there's all people study these things. It's real. It actually matters. And then Q laughing when he said that, the lightest skinned woman.
No, I didn't laugh when he said that about Kayla.
Right.
No, ma'am. I never laughed when he said that.
I'm just saying that it's just really strange.
Don't do that. I
you
never laughed.
You
I laughed prior to that, ma'am. So don't put laugh in my mouth.
When he said that, you busted out laughing. Rewind it back.
But watch this. It's you just said.
And I thought that's really weird.
Hey, I guess I'll be weird then.
But you said colorism exists, right?
Yes.
He said that too.
I'm not saying that he didn't say that. I am speaking to the bigger point in terms of him categorizing dark-skinned women a certain way and saying, did you notice that the dark-skinned women, it's problematic. And it's not about preference at this point, because he already said his wife is tall and dark-skinned and a beautiful woman and all these things. So it's not that he doesn't prefer, that in terms of his attraction. It's not about preference. It's about him spewing nonsense about dark-skinned women. And I just don't, and Logic, you're right. It's not just women. The colorism affects men, women, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
But my thing is chaotic.
But watch this.
Do that.
Hold on.
For you to do that is
Hold on,
a
Mr.
problem.
1 Timothy 2.
Like,
Hold on
what
1
are
second.
you doing?
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Point.
Hold on, Kayla. Let her finish. Hold on, Kayla. Let her finish.
Like I said, I think that it is because you want to create a show for tomorrow. That's what it is.
No,
it happened last time. That's what you want to do.
Okay, hold on. Can I say something? Okay, please, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I got on here the first time. I was broaching the topic, talking about the topic. And then Brittany Griner got on here and she asked me 1,001 questions. And she kept it personal with me. Nobody said anything, right? Even Kayla, when I first started talking
Who
to
are
Kayla,
you referring? Use real names. What are you talking
She's
about?
talking about Six the Goddess.
the Goddess.
The basketball player.
All right, y'all. All right, come on, y'all. We got to move on because we can't have this long and drawn out. It's not a recap. No, we're gonna move on. We're gonna finish off with Kayla and then we'll move on. Go ahead, Kayla.
Okay. Okay. So obviously, when personal shots are taken, I think it really just reveals something deeper. I also think people who make comments about people that favor themselves that are disparaging have self-hate and self-acceptance issues, especially people that are obsessed with the opposite of them and other races. I think it's just very sad because a lot of the talking points are like the talking points that white people put on Black people when we were enslaved, through segregation, through Jim Crow, through all of that. I mean, those are the exact talking points when just over the course of our history, you know, the darker they are, the more aggressive they are, the more violent they are, blah, blah, blah. So I think it's pretty offensive. And it just shows the amount of self-hate and self-disdain. And I do think that your wife, and I think her family members would be offended by it as well, because I can guarantee they have similar experiences to mine. Without even speaking to someone, just based off of how you look, without even interacting with them. So I just think it's really, really sad how we are on a platform of Black people and we're talking about what's going on in our community. And we have people that are perpetuating racism and colorism. I think it's very sad and unfortunate. But I hope it's a learning experience because I don't know what else it can possibly be. There's nothing on the planet that will make any of that okay ever. And it also shows the lack of experience. When you talk about per year experience, I mean, it must be very small. It's not vast at all. Clearly, you don't know a whole lot of people or a whole lot of people of a lot of races, because I live in South Florida where there are a lot of ratchet white people.